Hey guys, welcome back to Land of Pharaohs. I'm Sajuuk, and I think it's time to start going into Cleopatra, because that's what we're going to be starting on this video today. So, we're going to be heading into the Cleopatra campaign missions. Now, a little bit of background, we've had some extreme hot weather here in the UK, so I did try to do a couple of recordings recently for tutorials. I was doing a recording for the religion mechanics, and just as soon as I was about to end the recording, I even pressed the hotkey, the whole computer froze up. And it actually corrupted the game. It caused all the sound in video settings to revert to default, somewhat. All the sound was off, it was set to 0%, they were turned off, and the game and scroll speed got themselves stuck on 0%, which made the game frozen, essentially, without me pressing pause. Also screwed my resolution up as well, but I've got it all sorted, I've got it back to normal. Now there are 15 missions in Cleopatra, we'll just have a look at them here. There are 15 of them, starting with Thutmose in the Valley, that's the one we're going to go into today. And it ends in Actium. Quite a number of missions. I should point out that I have completed these missions on normal difficulty before, but I'm hoping my experience with playing on hard will get me through some of them. They are very challenging. Quite a number of these missions are challenging, and I don't think they're very well balanced. They're quite balanced for normal, just about. Hard, they're rather unbalanced. Some missions go a bit weird. And on very hard, I would expect them to be very, very difficult. Only the best player could probably complete them. We are going to be playing them as campaigns. One thing to note is that there's no mini-movies for starting these ones, and there's no mini-movie at the end of completing the Cleopatra's capital. So here we are, the Valley of the Kings. Grand as they are, the pyramids of your ancestors have eroded over the centuries, the tombs within have been desecrated, and the hidden treasures pilfered by robbers, whom the gods will surely punish throughout eternity. You will forego pyramids and start a new necropolis in a hard-to-reach wadi across from Thebes, digging tombs into the cliffs to create a Valley of the Kings, safe from robbers. Or is it? And one thing to note is they do like to refer to places by classical names, and there's not... Even if you play them classically, there's not very many differences in names. There's only one mission that actually has an alternate name. The majority don't. Let's start the Valley of the Kings.
After many brilliant victories on distant battlefields defending the lands and people of Egypt, Pharaoh Thutmose, as all must eventually, has turned his thoughts to preparations for his travel into the afterlife. To ensure that this journey is successful, Pharaoh wishes you to begin construction of his tomb at your earliest convenience. Establish a village on the west bank of the Nile to provide a pool of capable workers. Locate a suitable site for his tomb in the cliffs to the west of the village. You will need skilled stonemasons to cut the tomb's many chambers from the rock, and talented artisans to plaster and paint the rooms. To provide light for the workers laboring in the far recesses of the tomb, you will need to establish lamp maker shops. Supply the lamp maker with pottery and imported oil for the fuel. Plant fields of henna to provide a source of dye for brilliant colors the paint makers will need.
Well, that's a very interesting introduction. It pretty much tells us exactly what we have to do. It's very unusual because most of the Pharaoh missions tended to effectively not tell you what you have to do. So it pretty much says here that we have to build a tomb, and it's going to be in the west bank of the Nile and in the west of the whole map. Needs stonemasons and artisans to do that, and how to get lamp and paints. That's not going to be too difficult. So the first tomb, and our ratings are pretty much just ratings based. There's no population or housing requirements, so very basic city here. Continuing this entire playthrough as we did before on hard mode, let's head to the city. Slow time down and pause and have a look around this map. So there are quite a number of changes with Cleopatra. There's obviously new industries as explained, but the map designers are a lot more devious, and we'll find out more about that throughout this mission. So here's the entry point right here, the exit point's down here. Look at all this floodplain though, just look at all that land that we've got to farm on. Pretty much infinite farmland. And you'll notice here that there is only one way to get onto this left hand side of the Nile. There's only this little crossing, so I could put down 2 docks, because there's space for it. Red herring, don't do that, because then you can't get to any of the land, because there's nothing on this side of the Nile. Just a bit of coastline and a little bit of marshland. One thing to note about Cleopatra is that the developers will put in lots of marshland into maps, just like even just little tiny amounts of it, just to create a malaria risk. So on this map there will be a malaria risk just because there's a little bit of unharvestable reeds. Got plenty of floodplain though, which is good, and there's going to be a dock here. I'm not too sure where I'll put the docks. I'll probably have quite a number of docks around this bit here, have all of my industry here, or I'll have a little bit here. What farms do we have? We have chickpeas, flax and henna. Henna is a new industry. It's just a generic worthless crop like anything. And it goes into paint maker shops, which creates paint. Paint is actually a very good export. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Lamps are an interesting one. You need to get an import for that. Now, if we have a look on the left hand side of the map here, here is the cliffs. You can hide them by pressing H. Just hides them easily. Small royal burial tombs, I believe, what we need to build, yeah. And I don't know if you can read this text, but it says, place tombs over cliffs, making sure that the entrance juts out onto clear land. Now, we are going to be putting the small tomb here. Now, technically, you can put it here and it will be valid. But we're not going to put it here because the next mission requires you to build a medium tomb, and it's a time-limited mission. So we're going to leave that space for that one for that reason. So the small tomb will go here, and they'll chisel it out. And I'll go through the process later once we've got the workers going for it. What other raw resources do we have? We've only got clay pits. We've only got clay, so that means we've only got pottery, linen, and paint. Gods are Cyrus, Ptah, Bast, and I believe Ptah is the patron, yeah, because it's an industrial mission. We're at a lower rank on this mission. We are a royal mayor, which means we are going to have to end up paying tribute. We'll just lower that tax rate to 0. I believe we'll just unpause the game. There are scorpions to be found on this map. There they are. So scorpions are a new little predator. There's 3 new predators that have been predators that have been added to the game. Scorpions are in arid landscapes, lions are in normal ones, and asps in humid climes. So new ones there. The old ones don't get used on Cleopatra missions. There's not going to be any antelope or... There's not going to be antelope. There's not going to be any of those kind of things. No hippos, no crocs or anything like that. It's all the new ones that they use in these maps. I can see a black dot here, but I don't know if that's just a... It's like as if there's something here, but I can't... Oh yeah, there's some scorpions just here that I haven't spawned, but there are just in this gap here which we can just block off, which is not a problem. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go and set up a housing block right here. Because it is arid, it means we're going to have to be quite close to the floodplain, but that's not a problem. I'll set up a housing block here and we'll get our industry going because we're going to need that. But before we do that, let's have a look at the new industries. So, oil, henna, paint and lamps. Now, oil is sort of like a resource that you'll find in like Zeus and Emperor. This is a commodity you can only get from a trade partner. We can have a look here. So Dair el-Medina is our city, and Kome sells us oil, a lot of it, but that's a very expensive trade route. We're not going to trade there. Unfortunately, unlike in Pharaoh, where trade cities would buy and sell the same items, in Cleopatra, cities will sell random items, usually just items you need to win. So for example, you can import chariots from Mennefer as well as beer and all that, and not stuff we're going to need. We've got Kerma down here that buys linen and paint. Was sells meat, barley and buys bricks. Don't think there's any point in bricks because we need to import straw for that, so we're not going to do that. They do buy a lot though. Cheap trade routes are quite common. Have a look at Planet. They buy pottery. Now this is a bit of a red herring. I know you could go ahead and open up this trade route, but pottery doesn't sell for that much, and because we can only sell a small amount, this isn't worth it. We're going to focus on the expensive trade route to Kerma because they buy lots of linen and paint. Oddly enough, they are things that we are going to have to make anyway because they will be requested early on. So yeah, that's a rundown of everything. Other things that I need to explain will come out throughout this part as needed. So let's get to building the city, and I'll come back here once we've got the first housing block down. Okay, so here's our housing block set. So I'm going to go for my normal little big block. Now, I'm not too sure how well it'll work out, but I have gone for one of these right here, and I've gone ahead to set up a couple of farms. We are not going to feed people right now. We're just going to focus on industry because we need to get money. I've already spent about half the funds. We started with 8,000. And of course, our trade routes to places that buy things are quite expensive. I mean, it's nearly 1,000 to open up this water trade route to Karma. And it's the only place that currently buys linen and paint. We can sell linen to other places like Nkome here, but that is the only commodity we can sell there. We could sell luxury goods if we imported gems. I mean, how much is the gems worth? The gems are worth 120. Selling on luxury goods is only a profit of 30, so it's not really worth it. Do we need luxury goods? We do need actual luxury goods in the city, so we might as well set it up. But I'm not going to do that right now, it's too expensive. Because it would only be to one trade partner that costs way too much money. Even Nefer is not really worth it because they cost 940 as well. Trade prices for opening routes is much more realistic. They're not just the stock values. It's not like 1600 or somewhere really silly for a distant trade partner, so it's a bit more realistic. I think they base it off of more the distance and all that rather than just where it is on the map, which is at least better. So we're going to get on with our our linen and paint industry, which is going to go right here. We will expand this later. I'll put it on a little bit over here as well, set up a bit more. One thing to note is that paint isn't really needed in the city for any commodity. It's only needed for the monument in very small amounts. Other than that, it's pretty much an export item. We can sell it for 116, which is actually not too bad. It's about the same price as bricks, and we can sell lots of it anyway because we don't need it for anything other than one building, so that's not a problem. So yeah, we've got everything set up. I'm going to just come back in once all of our housing's up and running, and we've got our industry going because we're going to need to wait for the flood to happen, the people to come and farm the fields, and then we can start our industries. Okay, so the first harvest of henna and flax have come in. We've only got 344 henna and 224 flax. Wasn't able to get that much more because our workers were a bit messed up, but that's okay. We've got loads of unemployment all of a sudden. Let's just turn on the paint industry. I did turn it off because these consume 12 workers, but we can get some paint going. That will help. What we're going to do is we're just going to put a yard over here, which is going to accept half henna and half flax, and not have it in these two yards here, which is going to accept our finished commodities. We will start to move some of these things away. I might start to put paint over here and have a getting yard near here to get lots of paint, just to keep it away from this here where I want lots of flax production. I may even turn this into a bit of a pottery area as well, because we do need clay pits, so they're going to have to go along this southern bit here. Saying that, I could put the paint, the clay and all that down here, or I could put it up near this little bit of water, because then I don't need the clay industry connected to the city, because we're not going to be selling it, and it's only to a land trade route anyway, so it doesn't even matter. We will be using it in the city, so I could just use up one place to put down a yard or something. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. How much unemployment do we have now? 14%, that's 25, so let's just put down, we'll enable that industry there. So more people are coming in, which is going to be good. We've got lots more people coming in. As the people come in, I will start to build more of these industries, and then we'll start to focus on money making. We're running out of money here very quickly. We don't have personal saves because, of course, this doesn't continue from the previous mission. So yeah, let's just get our industries going, and I'll come back in if anything of interest happens. Okay, so I have gone ahead and moved some industries around. So I've moved the paint over here because we had quite a bit of money. I've gone ahead and just moved the paint industry over here, and I've made this all just linen. So we're going to have a getting yard here getting paint because it's the furthest away, it's up here. But these guys can just wander up and get linen. We can sell only 1 dot worth of paint, so we don't really need a lot of production at the moment. But we do need more linen production because we can sell more of that. So we've got 5 of these weavers up, and we've got a lot more flax. We've got 5 flax fields and 6 henna fields. Now the reason we've got 6 henna fields is simply because I know that there are some requests for this commodity later on in the scenario. I will talk about requests later when they start to come up. We're not feeding anyone yet, we don't need to do that. City health is still perfectly fine. Once we start to need more people, I will put down stuff to feed them, which will go down here. I'm going to have pretty much all of the food distribution and things for this bazaar over here, rather than in this area over here, which is all going to be mostly industry, which I think will work out a lot better. Here we go, the harvest is almost here. Henna is... the flood it comes in July, but they're not seemingly taking a lot of time to get all of this done. If we just speed this up. I mean, this is the harvest season, but they've not really grown to full production, so it does mean that we're not going to get a full quantity out of these farms. And unfortunately, the next flood is going to be non-existent, which is unfortunate. Let's just check. Gods are all a bit displeased, but that's okay. We can just put down a temple to Osiris there. Now, we are going to go into debt, I think, opening up the trader to Kerma, because we are going to need to do that. Now, the first thing I'm going to sell is paint, since we've already got a large amount of it. Then we will sell linen once the paint's all been used up. Paint produces remarkably quickly compared to other resources, so it's not a problem. So yeah, we've got our industry all going, we've got all the people in the city. If we need more people, we just need to evolve housing or cut back on some stuff. I'll cut back in once provided to start selling paint and linen to Karma. Well, this is a little bit out of the blue. Because you could use some help, the city of Men-Nefer wishes to grant you a gift of 1600 flasks of beer, but there's insufficient space in your storage yards and grinders to accommodate it. Now, I know for a fact that accepting that gift is going to make us have to send something there. And that happens a lot. I'll just point this out with gifts. Anytime you get a gift like that basically says because you could use some help and it's literally out of nowhere, almost certainly that city is going to ask you for something. So you have to do a lot of, we'll take the free gift, but we're going to ask something for that in return. So you're not going to get free gifts in these levels. So, you know, let's just put a yard right here. We don't really need the beer right now. We do need it for a burial provision if we have a look here. We do need beer. So we are going to have to import barley or import beer directly. I think we'll just go with the import beer. I'm not too sure because we can import barley from Wast and probably just soak up unemployment with it. Although we do need Men-Nefer trader anyway to get papyrus and a chariot. Well, we only need a chariot from there, so it's not a problem. Well, accept that gift, but I know for a fact we're going to have to pay them off with something. We're going to no doubt enter debt. Because we're down 100 funds and we're going to need to sell linen and paint. But we'll wait for the paint and that to build up before we do that. I think we get some significant rescue funds, so I don't think it's a problem. Let's just get this gift. Whenever I have put down a couple of extra paint makers because we were needing additional paint production. Unfortunately, the flood was going to be non-existent. What's the next flood going to be? Hopefully better. There's that gift. Let's just accept it. There's that sitting there. What's the next flood going to be? Poor. Not great. But we've got plenty of paint here stockpiling up. We've also got loads of linen. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the trade route to Karma and start selling linen. So let's just go ahead and open up this trade route. Expensive, I know, but we need to do it. Let's just sell all linen. We're going into significant debt. Out of money. So that was 2,500 that we got there. That's not too bad. So we'll use that money to start to sell off our paint and linen, and we'll come back in if anything of interest happens. That gift threw a spanner in the works somewhat. Oh no. Because she accepted a gift of 600 flasks of beer from Men-Nefer, they want me to send pottery which I don't have an industry of. I'm pretty sure the game is designed specifically to ask for an item you've not set up. But I've got 12 months to comply, so let's just go ahead and... I knew that was going to happen, but Christ, that's annoying. Let's just put down 2 clay pits will probably be enough. And... not breweries, so let's just put down 1, 2, 3, 4. Just leave 1, 2... there. So we're using up funds for pretty much no reason at this point because we now have to set up an industry I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting to be asked for pottery, but there you go. We'll give you the pottery. Now, one thing to note is that even if you comply with these requests late, so within the 2-year extension, they'll still like it. They'll still give you kingdom rating boosts. Probably not as much, but that's okay. Anyway, we have opened up trade with Kermit. They're coming now down to buy linen, which is going to give us money, which will pay for that pottery expansion that we really required. We're just going to have to hope we get enough clay from these 2 things. And let's just actually... not do anything with this and just let that expand itself. So there we go. They'll buy up linen, and once all the linen's gone, I will start to sell paint. Let's see the money we get from this. That's not a lot. Oh, it's because you have not got enough workers, that's why. Let's just, we are short so many workers. We're going to probably need a housing block, or we're going to have to evolve housing. Because that's not really going to do very much. Let's just put this on priority 4. Priority, we don't need a priority on this, so let's just remove that. No, that doesn't work. Okay, we're just going to have to leave it like that. Okay, fine. So we'll just have to let this work at an extremely slow speed, which is not very useful. And just sell this stuff at a very slow rate, which is not going to be good. So start to make money, finally. I will get this pottery set off, and once the pottery speed set off, we'll just delete this industry because we don't need it down here. It's in the way, and really, I would rather put it somewhere else. But we are making money now, which is good. So let's start to focus on food, I think. I will set off that pottery once it's made. Okay, we just about got the 500 pottery time. Let's just send that off. And we can just delete all of this because we don't need that. It's just sort of getting in the way. What we are going to do is we're going to turn this into a bit of a loop. Now, I'm not too sure if we really need a second housing block here. In fact, you know... yeah, let's just have this as an area for distributing stuff for now. We can just put that there. Oh, pardon me, I'm going to sneeze, I think, shortly. Sorry, folks. We're going to just put these two things here. Get this stuff out of here because it's just in the way. We are selling paint. How much we sold? We sold 2,200. That's not too bad. I did have to turn off the linen industry because we're just not making enough linen. And we don't have enough workers to support that right now. We do have enough workers now, but it's not a lot, and it won't support this. So for now, we're not going to do that. Next edition is going to be perfect. That's well, excellent, which is pretty much perfect. Down here, what we'll have is also additional work camps because we're starting to use up the supply here. One work camp covers about 6 fields. We've got more than 12 fields basically, so that won't work. So we'll just delete that, and we can just extend it down this way, and we'll just put down 2 work camps there. Actually, we don't need 2. Let's just put down 1, and then just a bunch of chickpea farms like so. There we go. So that's more than enough chickpeas for now. If we need more, we've got plenty of space. I mean, there's even space up here, which is not a problem. So for now, we're just going to sell paint because we can sell that quite quickly, and that's it, at least running. And once we've got more workers, we will turn on this weaving industry again. So yeah, let's just keep on going, and because you sent 500 pieces of pottery to men effort, they're now happy, that's good. We'll start to feed the people now, and I'll come back in once we started to evolve our housing into rough cottages, because that's what we're going to need. We also need to keep the gods happy as well, because they'll get upset if we don't have these temples running and all that. Okay, so we're starting to feed our people. They're getting up to rough cottages is what they're going to be at. Let's just spend some time doing some beautifications. We'll do these low statues because they look quite nice. There we go. And then we're going to have to do... I'm not really going to need to do a shrine wall as such, but let's just... we'll walk here and here. I'm going to have to sort these shrines, so let's just sort them now. I don't think I really need to delete them, but 1, 2, 3. Let's do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. I'm going to have to put a firehouse and architect's post here to prevent these from getting damaged. So let's just do 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. There. And I'm going to add an extra shrine to Ptah just over here just to keep him happy because he is patron god. We're not going to try and evolve all the houses. We will try and get as many as we can up just to get more people. We are stockpiling nice amounts of paint. And over here just dumped down a bunch of farms because we were short on henna. It was running out a little bit. So we have boosted that a bit. Let's just put in another work camp right there. We are short on workers, but that's not a problem. People are going to be moving in from that. I'm not sure if I've got enough. Let's see, one. Let's see. Yeah, so I could put a road going out this way, and then we can just have more farms over here. There's enough space that it doesn't really matter. Down here we could have a lot more chickpea farms and the like. So I'll just do this, and then a roadblock there, and we should be fine. So there's more than enough work camps here to support all these farms. We just need to keep, you know, building them really. I don't really care where this comes from. We can just come away up this way, for example. And there we go, and all that. So we can just have a straight line going right out and all that. Might even just get rid of this intersection. I'm not too sure how I'm going to do it, but that's fine. So we are running out of money again, but the New Year's come through, so let's just sell paint. Since we've got it. And caramel will come through. They've got to go so far to get... yeah, there.
I can't wait to trade my...
So yeah, let's just keep on going and start to make some food and start to evolve our people, because we need to get people in the city at this point. This is a bit out of the blue. To satisfy citizens' needs, the city of Sajuuk requires that you send 500 linen in 8 months. We do have enough, so we'll just send that off. We did lose a bunch of people because these houses devolved because the temples weren't working, which wasn't very useful. Over here I have planned out an area for where I'm going to have some farms near the coast here, just because I think that's a good way of using up the space. I don't think we're going to need much more farms than what we've drawn out for. Mostly going to be food farms that we will need to plan out for at this point. Now hopefully people will start to move in quite quickly, and that will prevent any sort of catastrophic devolutions from happening. We've got more than enough paint. I say I've not been getting any, but we've sold out pretty much the entire supply for the year. So we just need to get people in so we can start to turn on our linen industry again, because we're running out of funds again, but that's not a problem. So let's just keep on going. Okay, so because we sent that 500 rolls of linen to Sajuuk, we can now trade there. Let's just have a look at that. They sell gems and oil, and that's a very cheap trade route. So we could get more than enough oil from Sajuuk. We don't really need tons of this, and it's a hell of a lot more cheaper than Encome. I know we could get like 4,000 from Encome. We seriously do not need to import that amount of oil to make enough lamps. So we only need a small amount. So Sajuuk is pretty much going to be where we're going to get gems and oil from. We don't need too much, which is fine. I think I'll probably set that up over here because we are going to need pottery production, so we could just do all our pottery production around this little bit of water that's just here, and just sort of plan that area out. 1, 2. Let's do a bit of a loop. Let's see, 1, 2. 1, 2. So we could just do a loop right here and have all of our industry just sort of jutting out of this little area. Thereabouts. Now we are running out of money because we're not selling anything, because we can't get workers to turn on this, but we do have workers now. Let's turn on linen and start to produce it again. What's the labour shortage? 14, that's not too bad. Once all the houses are fully evolved, I think that will be fine for now. So we'll just wait for the linen to stockpile, and then we can make more money, because we are running out of it again, and we don't have enough paint export potential on this map because we don't have Ra to boost these, which is unfortunate. So there we go. So let's just keep on going. Oh, look at this. Ichitai is asking for jars of paint, so we'll just send that off in a minute. I am just planning out this little area here, so I've just put down a bit of a house there and all that. So we've got shit tons of paint. We've got like 3,000 stockpile. I think we're selling that out quite quickly. Let's just have a look. Yeah, we sold that out, and it's not even the end of the year. So we're also stockpiling linen, so we can just start selling that, I suppose, because we don't need that in the city. And I could just wander the whole distance and buy up all this linen. So much of it. There's enough there to support 2 boat sales, so that shouldn't be a problem. More of it's coming in as well. So that's not going to be a problem. I think in the next flood, which is going to fail, whenever the next flood's perfect, I'll delete all the farms and replace them in a better order, basically. So we're going to start to sell linen now, and that will give us plenty of stuff. We're just overproducing on our raw materials in case someone asks for them, which is fine. Got enough chickpeas here, we just need to evolve our housing, I think. So let's just put down juggler school and conservatory right there. And just boost these up to the next level. I'm only going to put a bandstand down for that. I will replace this with a pavilion later. We just can't afford the workers on it right now. So we'll sell linen off to Kerma. There we go, plenty of money. Hopefully we can sell out 3,300 by the end of the year. Hopefully. And we've got these people over here running now, which is perfect. Can we well up all of them? Nope. Does that well up all of you? No, it doesn't, so we'll just delete that. There we go. So we'll just leave that as is. So we'll start to work on making pottery. We'll bring it over here for distribution. I might have a second block down here, or I might just colonize this side to provide them with some basic resources, which would probably be better, to be honest. So yeah, let's just keep on going, start to evolve our housing, and start to get more people in this city, because we're going to need them very soon. Okay, here's another out of the blue request. Abu wants 1,200 bales of henna in 12 months. Now we do have shit tons of that, so we can just send that off. Up here we have set up our little industry area. We're going to have 6 potters, probably more, because we're going to have to set up another little appenditure to this to get more pottery production, because we are going to need pottery for 2 uses in this city. One use is going to be to support these guys, and another use is going to be for building the mine. Now I haven't got to place it down because there's no point, it's not going to get working yet because we don't have any oil in the city, which we are going to need. And to do that is we're going to have to set up a crossing here anyway, so I'll probably set up another little housing block over here. Not sure if I'll do a big block or if I'll just do a small narrow one or just a line. I'm not too sure how I'm going to do it. But we are going to need to colonize both sides of the Nile anyway to get across here, because we do... Why the heck are you out here? Why are you there?
I do my best to give the people what's
Yeah, what people? It's just farmers, you bloody idiot. Never mind. She'll get back inside the loop eventually. So yeah, we're just starting to grow the city, and hopefully Abu will be another source of money making. I hope. Because if it's not, I'll be rather annoyed. Pardon me. I don't think we're going to need too much more production here, so we're fine. We set off a load of henna, which obviously is going to make that look lower than it is. So yeah, we just need to start producing pottery, and then we'll start to distribute it to our housing over here. But we're going to need to do it to get more work. It's because we're short quite a bit, but that's okay. Let's just keep on going. Oh look, another new trade route. Because we sent those 1,200 bales of henna to Abu, we can now open trade. Let's have a look. They sell absolutely nothing, and they only buy pottery. What a waste. So, yeah. Cleopatra often adds cities that are trade routes that don't sell anything, so don't worry about that, that's not a glitch. They really do not sell anything. The only items they buy are bricks and pottery. Now, if I wanted to set up a larger pottery export, I could, but I'm not going to because it's not worth anything. Though say that, with the production level as it is, I think it may be worth something now, but it's a bit late. If I want to do pottery export, I'm going to have to do that over here, which means I would only need a very small industry over here to support our monument industry. I could easily set up multiple docks, I think. So, yeah, Abu is pretty much useless. We don't need them because they only buy 2 items, none of which we're going to be selling, so not a problem. We're starting to make pottery now. I may actually cut back on this and just set this up for more monument stuff, so I may not need this to be a loop. I may actually do the pottery production, the mass production over here. I'm not sure yet how I'm going to do it. Let's just keep on going. Okay, so we have set up a couple of line housing blocks just over here. I'm not going to do a big block because there's not enough space. This is the edge of the map, pretty much. And we've got lots of unemployment. Well, we did have lots of unemployment, but I've gone ahead and set up a rather large pottery area, which is going to be fine. Over here, it's just going to be a very small amount. We're just going to support the basics of building the monument here. So what we need is we need a stonemason and an artisan skill, but we also require a work camp. So we've got that sorted. Now, the way the monument works is I'm going to demonstrate it here. We're just going to put it down here. So that's it down, and just building it counts for 2%. Nothing's blocking the way, don't worry, that will clear. So let's just see. The artisans and masons refuse to step foot in the royal burial tomb without lamps. It is awfully dark in there. So how this works is, as long as you've got like 1 square of this with lamps, a labourer from here will go and get those lamps. Up to 400, he'll then pull them along here, and then they'll be stored in the monument. And as long as there's lamps in here and this is not dark, 1 stonemason, 1 artisan will go up there every so often. Now you do not need more than 1 of these, okay, to build a monument. building more is a waste because you do need clay for this to work. And what we're going to do is we're just going to put this here, which is going to get 1/4 paint. Now we're doing 1/4 of paint because the stonemason, not stonemason, the artisan requires paint. We recommend he needs paint and clay. So we're going to have more than enough clay production up here, with a yard getting paint, which is more than enough. And 1 stonemason will also work as well, so we'll just put down a stonemason here. Now how we're going to do this is we're going to have a yard here to accept oil and lamps. Just do that. And we're going to import oil from Sajuuk right here, because it is that road connection. We're only going to import to maintain 800. We don't need that much, and it's bloody expensive. It's 110 and it will rip through your cash quite nicely if you don't be careful about it. We're just going to do 3 of these. We don't really need that much. They take oil and pottery to make a lamp. So the oil goes inside the pottery and that makes a lamp, basically. It's just like real life, essentially. So that's how that monument industry is going to work. Down here we're going to need to get some food, so we can just put down this granary right here to go and get chickpeas, because we have gone ahead and expanded our chickpea production quite significantly. We could just set this to accept 3/4. And now we have more than enough chickpea production. I don't think it's going to be a problem. If we need more, we've got over here as well. So let's just clean this up a bit to how I want it to be. And we'll just put down there. There you go. That's all the fires we're ever going to need. And then if we need more, we have a space right here to just put down additional farms. I don't think we're going to need too many more farms though, so we'll just leave it at that. And we should be exporting this there. Now hopefully our trade route opens up that will buy paint, because I don't think it's going to go very far. We have too much production now at this point. And over here we have a separate little area that I can just expand this a bit more. Now we're going to start to produce this stuff here. We are short lots of workers, which is not too good. But if we can start to provide more stuff to these guys, I think it will just be fine. We'll set this to get 1/4 pottery, like so. And you can accept 3/4 beer. We're going to get rid of all of this beer because it's in the wrong place. And we're going to import beer. Well, we'll do something with it, don't we? So yeah, we've got our stuff all nicely set up. We now need to just grow the city to get more people to support our various industries over here and the like. So let's keep on going. Okay, this is rather cruel. To honour the glory of Egypt, Wast was 600 bricks in 12 months. We don't have that industry. Now that means we're going to have to open up a trade route to import straw, because no one sells it from our existing trade routes. And I believe the only place is Egypt. So let's just open this up. Now I know that we don't need that much straw, so let's just import 400. It can go there with the bricks. And we'll just put down 3 of these and then a bunch more clay pits just along here, just to boost that. Now we're in significant debt. Shit, we went into a lot of debt. So we are going to have to try and get our money back. That's just from setting up all this. How are the gods feeling? They're feeling okay. Let's just delete this temple. And we can turn this area a bit into a little bit of a shrine dump, but we are going to need money to do that. So yeah, let's just try and dig ourselves out of debt with this area set up. Now that we're going to have the workers, we can start to export paint and all that kind of stuff. So let's just keep on going. I'll try and meet that bricks request. I think we will, because it's not. We don't need too much brick production. 1 brickworks would be enough, but we'll just make sure we've got enough. So let's keep on going. Okay, this is really annoying. There's getting a lot of requests coming in all of a sudden. 500 jars of oil in 9 months. Now, we've just imported a bunch of it, which is not very good for our cash, but we have exported a bit. The straw's about to come in, I think.
We're waiting for some cargo to be delivered to our ship.
Where are you going? Can you please sell me the straw that I require? Thank you. There it is. It's coming in now. Good. We've got pottery here as well being made. Of course, this pottery production is going to be stagnating quite a bit, so let's just turn off that pottery industry for now, just to save some workers get onto this. We are starting to claw ourselves out of debt, which is very good. Yeah, so it's going to be good. So we'll get the bricks made, we'll stockpile them here, and hopefully we will have enough to make those bricks for wasps, because that's rather out of the blue, not very fair. Maybe we'll start to feed our people as well over here as well. We've got the storage for it, so let's just go ahead and do it. There we go. So yeah, we'll just keep on going, and we'll meet those brick requests hopefully very soon. We don't need to import any more straw, so we can just stop that for now. So yeah, let's just keep on going. Okay, the bricks have just stockpiled just in time. Let's just send them off right now. I'm not going to export these. I'm going to let this all sort of deplete itself, and then once it's all depleted, I will then just... I don't know, are we trading with anyone that buys bricks? No, but we will trade with wasps anyway, because we will import barley from there to make our own beer, and we'll at least get these guys up to at least a basic level of spacious power. We're not going to import papyrus, it's sort of pointless. All of this is all over here now. This just needs pottery, which is obviously not going to get made. Has anyone even come over here to get the oil? Or the lamps, rather? Just empty all that out and put it over here. These are set to stockpile, so maybe we just don't have enough of these yet to support it all. I don't think anyone's gone over there yet. Oh no, someone's going over there. Let's just have a look. Because lamps have been delivered, 300. Let's side the cliffs. So you can see here how this works is the stonemason, if we just speed it up. The stonemason comes out to chisel out the tomb. Yes, we completed the construction project on time. So he'll do his work. He'll do something. And apparently just doing that uses up 100 lamps. Okay, fine. Then the artisan will come along to do his thing. Have we got enough unemployment? We do. We could just turn that pottery industry back on. There we go. Employees needed, I don't care. Yeah, because we're starting to evolve these houses, which we'll do properly in a minute. But if we just keep focusing on this monument. So the artisan will come up here. And he'll do some painting work. There you go. And then the stonemason will come to do the next chiseling phase. So it's a very basic one. Now you're going to have to work out how to be able to do this as quickly as you can, because the next mission is a timed mission for a larger monument than this. So yeah, that's it, the process. Labourers from a work camp will deliver lamps. The stonemason will go out to chisel out more of the tomb, and the artisan will come and paint it up. That's all you have to do. Flooded clay pit. What an obnoxious event that is. Totally random event just designed to frustrate the player. That's all that is. Let's keep on going and try and dig ourselves out of debt. Okay, this is not too good. I've apparently been ignoring the gods, and here's a rather interesting one. Ptah is indignant that you refuse to worship him. He calls upon a plague of frogs to descend upon the city. These frogs, with their slimy skin and putrid stench, will force many from their homes. Now, this is actually a curse in some missions. You can see them here, look at them all over the place. Now, I should really be paying attention to the gods at this point. Been forgetting about them all this time, but here they are. So just go into the houses and infect them. And let's see, can we find someone that's infected with frogs? Here. So it says, house infected with frogs for another 5 months. So all the occupants die just like a plague. And that is just going to completely wreck the city as a result. I mean, just look at them, so many. There, we've killed all the people in the houses. Okay, fine. Now, let's just get you happy again, because I've been paying no attention to the gods for all this length of time. Let's just put... no, let's just not put a firehouse there. Let's just spam some shrines. We've got the money, because we have been exporting quite a bit of stuff. How many is that? That's 10. Just fill up that stuff with bast. There, and then we can do Ptah somewhere else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we'll do an extra shrine each. There. Okay, now the gods should be a lot more happy. I've just been paying no attention to the gods and allowed them to curse the place, which is not very useful. But at least there you got to see the plague of frogs in action before it normally should, but there you go. So apparently Ptah will send a plague of frogs. I thought that was Bast, but never mind. I'll just delete that, we don't need it. We're going to replace it with a yard to accept barley. And then we're going to have some beer pooing out this direction. Hopefully they will pass the houses. In fact, let's just add some additional houses right there. So yeah, there we go. We've anchored the gods. That'll keep them happy for a little while. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's just keep on going to keep the houses evolved, to keep the city stable. This is nearly done. 63%. You can see they're painting it out now. And here comes the dude with however many. There's 200 there. So let's just see. So he takes 400 max. So that's all you need to know. As long as you've got 1 square of lamps, the rest can be sold. So there you go. Let's keep on going. Okay, this game is getting really cruel. Now we have to send Abu 800 baskets of grain. Now, of course, we can't get grain on this map because it needs to be imported, and I'm not even trading with the city that sells it. I feel as if I should just ignore that request because we are so steep in debt. How much has Karma bought? They've only bought 800, so we're trying to sell up a load of linen. I have brought some linen down here to try and make them go better, because at this rate we're never going to get any linen sold, so let's just try and sell stuff and maybe we'll afford that trade route later. Meanwhile, we're getting everyone up to the right levels. Over here we have a nice big amount of housing. I don't think we really need any more because at this point we are just desperate for people, desperate for cash rather. We've got everything we need. We just need to boost pottery production, I think, just a little bit. There we go. How's the monument doing? Nice and complete, so they're almost done. There we go. Construction of the small royal burial tomb is complete. Hopefully it'll be many years until your workers will have to prepare another. Let's have a look at the ratings. Culture's not there because we need to provide dentists. Prosperity's down because we're not making any money, because we keep importing a lot and wages aren't helping either. Unemployment's also quite high, which doesn't help. So yeah, we're just going to have to try and beat these ratings. Kingdom's going to have to be met by putting down a personal mansions somewhere and accruing funds. Hopefully not too many. So yeah, we're nearly done with the mission. We just need to get the ratings up, which is going to take a little while because we need to get out of debt. So I'll come back in a bit later once we're nearly winning the mission. Okay, so we never ended up sending the baskets of grain to Abu. We just couldn't get out of debt. We're only now out of debt, but it took a while. We're also selling pottery now. Just pretty much opened up all the trade routes that could buy something, apart from then Nefer, because we will need to open up that anyway. But we are just pretty much selling anything we could. We just couldn't get out of debt. What I did have to do was end up increasing wage rates and starting to pay some tax, which is the only way that we seem to get out of debt, which is not very useful. A couple more months and then we can start to repair our kingdom rating, which we ended up dropping a lot because we did have a debt anniversary, which is not too good. Let's see if we're running out of chickpeas, are we? Somewhat, but we can cut back on this and replace it with chickpeas for later. And we can just put the lost farms down here actually. There we go. There you go. Just cut that back and then I think, can we get another farm in there? No, it's one tile off. Never mind. So we're starting to recover the situation. Now we do need to work out the culture stuff. Now I'm going to have to evolve these houses to get rid of any risk of stuff happening. Now what we're going to do is we're going to delete these and get rid of their access to that. We will provide these guys with beer and then we'll evolve these up into higher level housing. Doing that means we will not need a police station, and we can just put a dentist in instead. We can just put a dentist in all of these blocks, to be honest. There we go. And that will probably tick up this to the required rating. Not enough jugglers. We need more booths, I think. Let's just move some stuff around. We can just put that firehouse there. We could put down 2 of those. We've got the money now, it's not a problem. Just put down a couple of extras. Need more jugglers. That's still not enough. That's really bad, actually. So actually we need to put down basic entertainment around the city, I think. We could do one there. That'll look a bit more realistic. Still not enough. Now it's musicians, so we now need to provide that, which is not very useful. Just put down a bandstand there. There we go, so that's met. Prosperity will be coming up as these houses start to evolve and fill up. I just need to get the kingdom rating out, so I'll come back in once the kingdom rating has been met and we're ready to win the mission once I've got all these in stockpile. Okay, so all of our ratings have been met. Culture's there. It says too few dances, but it doesn't really matter. Culture's there, so pretty much up to mortuary level, so you're fine. Prosperity's there, just have to evolve a few more houses because we are running into some aging. That's just because we've been taking so damn long on this mission. Monument's pretty much there, we just need to dispatch stuff. The kingdom rating took a while to get up there, but there we go. Out here was some of our industrial area across this narrow peninsula thing to where our main monument building industries are. Quite a lot of them. I could have actually moved some of the lamp production over here, because then I would only need to provide pottery. I could have just expanded pottery here, imported all that stuff there, but it's not a problem. We make plenty of cash now. In fact, where's our cash coming from? A mixture of taxes and exports. So without taxes, we would not be able to afford anything on this tribute. I mean, look at the tribute. 2,400. That's just insane. That's 10 times more than our personal salary. Dear me. And the monument is obviously over here, looking quite nice and proper. The royal burial tomb is complete. All that is lacking now are the burial provisions the deceased will need in the field of reeds. I'll just make sure we have saved. There we go. So let's dispatch our resources. Some beer, some linen, locally produced, number of gems that we got from afar, as well as luxury goods to be produced from them, and one chariot. Victory. We've done the first mission of Cleopatra. We didn't even need to reload, but we could have gone a whole lot wrong if we did get out of debt. Let us proceed to end the first mission.
Well done. The tomb for Thutmose I is complete, an extraordinary accomplishment. Pharaoh is confident that such a beautifully decorated tomb will please the gods and speed his journey into the afterlife.
Well, let's just hope it does, because it took me for bloody ever. That took 282 months, however long that is. I will probably just put it in the comments down below. Culture 35, 48, not very big ratings, but we did do too bad, and that was on hard difficulty. So that was the first mission, Thutmose in the Valley. If you want to go ahead in the playlist to the next one, just click the card on the screen. It'll take you to Tut in the Valley, which is the next mission, the card on the left that is, because the right hand card is going to link to one of my random tutorial videos or just something else entirely. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video guys, bye now.